Excited to be here today with you with Govinda Patterson. And boy, do we have a special story for you about the world of sports and athletics. So tell us, Govinda, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm from Mount Shasta, California. It's a small town in Northern California, and I created a new and better balanced way how to play sports.
And where did this knowledge come out of? What kind of things did you do when you were a youngster? Did you participate in any sports then?
Oh yeah, I played just about every sport there is, and I did gymnastics and I did a lot of martial arts growing up. That's where I kind of combined the two, or combined sports and martial arts together. I took a lot of the same principles of balance from martial arts and I applied them to sports to give players better balance and the ability to control their opponent's balance without fouling.
Now, when you started this martial arts, did the martial arts come before or after you started playing those sports?
Uh, Probably around the same time. I started as a young kid on everything.
Okay. And so if there was something that you learned of the major pose from that martial arts that has been really helpful, could you show us what those principles look like?
Yeah, basically, when you break down balance to its core, I'm always going to be moving. Uh, I'm always going to be strongest moving in the same direction as my feet, and I'm always going to be weakest if I shift my weight in the direction opposite of that or perpendicular. Okay, so if my feet are forward and back, now I'm strong forward and back, and I'm weak side to side. Okay, so if you really want to get somebody off balance, you're going to attack their weakest point. Okay, and a lot of the basic fundamentals that everybody teaches in a lot of different contact sports, they go exactly opposite of what this principal uh, technique is for balance. So it's really easy to take somebody off balance and keep them off balance just because of the way that people are playing. So that's why a lot of injuries happen, because they're off balance or because they're wasting their energy being in off balance positions. That just makes you weak and you hurt yourself
Hmm.
or you trip over somebody because you're off balance.
Right, right, right. I was thinking about a couple different things here. I'm going to throw a couple different sports analogies to you and tell me which one do you think works best.
Mhm.
Would you say that the stance in the power position is most similar to what you see with the young kid playing the hula hoop or with a gymnastics person going on the balance beam?
Yeah, everything that you can think of in sports, you're always trying to go with your strength. You're going to be most balanced. So of course, on the balancing beam, you're gonna step with your feet perpendicular with straight with the beam. You're going to be a lot more off balance if you're standing straight on the beam this way than you are if your feet are more lengthwise towards the beam.
Right. That's absolutely awesome. And how did you come to learning these particular skills? Was there some accident that you had that made you that brought you to this, or did the knowledge come before the accident?
Yeah, I kind of used some of what I teach now when I played in high school and college, but I really didn't I really didn't put it all together until I hurt my back, and it was really hard for me to play without hurting myself. So I had to really change the way that I was playing. Otherwise, I couldn't play at all. I really couldn't play at all anyway because I hurt my back so bad. But it really made me think of different ways to keep my balance and be able to control somebody without banging into them and hurting myself and wasting energy.
So
So
when
once I figured out, huh?
so when you hurt yourself, were you hurt because you were off balance when the person came at you or something like that? Was that the key to that injury?
I think so. I think so. Yeah, I was off balance and I landed wrong and it just tweaked my back and it popped and I couldn't walk. Like I just fixed it recently and it's way
How
better now. So
how
now I'm
many
actually getting starting to play again a little bit. It's nice.
how long was that recovery from the accident till you're being able to play? Because you said it was quite a while. I remember in our conversation.
Oh, it was a little over 20 years.
20 years. I mean, I don't know many people who've had 20 years, but what amazed me in our conversation, and this is why I
Hmm.
wanted to talk to you, is you said there was some mental work that you had done. And if you could share with the people, what is the mental activity that I think anybody can take to overcome anything that you found that worked especially well for you?
Wow. That it's kind of hard to explain, but basically, uh, I guess I kind of did a a meditation of sorts where I try to focus on the pain and follow the pain and be in it and try to relax into it deeper and deeper and deeper into it, and just try to get as much circulation to that area as possible and just be in it and not run from the pain anymore. Like before, I was kind of like trying to do anything not to be in the pain, get away from it, you know. And I tried everything. I tried chiropractor and all the back injections and all the exercises, and nothing worked, you know. But this kind of like, once I did it for like, it took me a couple months of really figuring out how to do it and stay in it and it's like a really subtle thing to follow the pain and be in it. But then all of a sudden I just had this huge release and it just went clunk in my back. And from then on, I've been in way, like 90% less, 95% less pain than I was before.
Now, would you say that you practice meditation? Did you practice meditation with this?
Yeah, I grew up meditating. I transcendental meditation. My parents were big into. That's why my name is Govinda. Actually, I'm not even Hindu, but the name is Hindu because my dad and mom were really into meditation and the Hindu culture and like that.
Right. You know, that's really important because I remember when I did Vipassana meditation, it was about the breathing and following the breath and going to the different parts. And when you felt something in a different place, you needed to get the mind to move through it, to get past that point, to go to the end, the tip of the toe, to get to the end of the foot, to go around it, and so on and so forth. And they say that when you focus your mind, you can absolutely accomplish anything. And so the 20 years of going and constantly doing this, constantly seeing, and the process of visualization. So it's the combination of the visualization as well as the other one that really helped you to go ahead and get to the other side. Now,
I don't
you've made
actually. Oh wait, just sorry, 1 second. I would say it's even more than visualization. It's kind of like visual feeling, or like it's not just a mental thing. It's like it's a real subtle thing to be actually in the pain and following it, and like this.
right. And
It's
I
not just
think what
visualizing. It's like
no,
you're feeling it the way you're there. Yeah.
yeah, but not the visualizing, but the actual kind of the meditation and seeing it through. I talked to you before that when I had vertigo, the nurse had
Mm.
explained to me the way to go through vertigo is get in the place that hurts and just hold it and let it go ahead and pass. And the more times that you hold it, you can get through that actual pain, which is exactly the same thing that you're going ahead and talking about. So I had one other quick question for you. How is it that you're able to keep an open mind to problems and strategies you had? I had some whirlies that were thrown at me today. So what would be your strategies about keeping an open mind when the world is throwing tarantulas at you, tornadoes?
Well, I think I've always been like a curious person and really trying to learn new things and figure out, like, anything that you want to do, you want to be able to figure out little tiny incremental ways to be able to improve on it, or, you know, have an advantage at what you're doing. So, you know, why not be open to everything? You can listen at least. You know, it's just I think that's been the most discouraging thing that not as many people are. I thought, you know, that most coaches would be like dying to learn a new way to get an advantage over everybody, but it just hasn't been as I don't know what. It's kind of crazy how that is,
Well, I think
you
one
know.
of the
But
ways
everybody's gonna. I'll go ahead.
I think one of the ways that you and I connected, because I was innately curious. I remember the first time I met you, my husband says I asked people 125 questions and we just kept on talking and talking and talking and talking. And,
Yeah,
as a person who works in the field of communication, it basically comes down to this. It's all on human relation skills of finding what's important to them. So what if you were looking to talk to these particular coaches and, how many kids on your team get injured every year? Is that a concern for you? How many top players do you have to go ahead and put back and find a replacement for? What if
yeah,
there was a way that I could show you something that you could lessen the number of people? And, it's kind of putting the you in front of the them and going from it from that particular place. But would
yeah.
that possibly work?
Yeah, that could be a good angle.
You know?
But I actually just got endorsed by Rick Barry.
Oh my God, tell
Do you
me. I
know
was
who
going
that?
to ask. I was going to ask you about your
So
embarrassments. So how did that happen?
so I actually contacted him on LinkedIn, and I'd been trying to contact. I think he just finally read my messages, and he gave me a quick video I gave him a quick video demonstration, and he absolutely loved it. And he loved it so much that he wants to talk to NBA teams for me on my behalf. So
Wow.
he's given me permission to give them his phone number to talk to him
Well, wow.
about me.
That says a couple things here. Some people call me too persistent, and I believe there's not a too persistent. If you want something, you've got to go for it. I mean, you and I had a
Well, if you
conversation the first
believe in
night.
it.
It's if you believe in it, you got to make it happen, and you got to make that call. So I'm going to be really funny. Was it an accident? Your phone bumped to call me on the phone? Because imagine if you hadn't taken my call at that time, we wouldn't be here today. And I
I
just want to
know. And it's not like I even had your phone number up on my phone or something. I was almost ready to call you. It just, for some reason, called you while it was in my pocket.
Well, life has an interesting way of sharing our intuition with one another. And I just want to let the world know this is Govinda Patterson. And if the world wanted to reach out to you, how is it that they could come out and touch you and contact you to have them help them on their situation? What would you say? What would be the best way to do it?
You can contact me on LinkedIn or on Instagram or Facebook, or Govinda Patterson at msn.com is my email. And yeah, if you want to learn if you want to have an advantage over your opponents, you want to learn what basketball techniques that I teach, then please contact me. I'm always looking for anybody that wants to improve, but what I teach takes a little bit of time and effort to learn. It's a little bit different than what everybody else teaches. So if you're willing to put in the effort, then I'd love to teach you.
Well, that's pretty much a wrap for us. This is Rosalyn Kahn from IGTV, always showing up with interesting and inspiring people that change our world. You can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on LinkedIn. And, please check out my Instagram, like it, follow my YouTube videos. And this has been a wrap. And Govinda, this is Rosalyn saying thank you so much.